It's no secret that I am a white floral lover. If you are too, please put your hand high up in the comment. Wave your white floral freak flag. And if you're here just to hear about some white florals because you're curious, thanks for clicking in. I have done a video like this, I believe the last 3 or 4 years, and I'll link those down below. It was super hard to pick the selection for today because I went to look at last year's video on white florals that I did, and I kept wanting to reach for the same ones because I really adore this category and love the ones that I mentioned last year. But for the sake of variety, I will leave those in last year's video. I have 10 new ones. When I think about white florals, the notes that come to mind that I love the most are tuberose, gardenia, magnolia, and jasmine. Orange blossom is actually also a white floral, as is lily of the valley. I believe freesia might be as well. Anyway, the ones that I mentioned are the ones that I'm most passionate about. So I'm going to share with you fragrances that are dominant in those florals that I mentioned. And to make it into this video, the floral had to be prominent. It had to be a feature of the fragrance. I will do a separate fruity floral video as well. You all voted on a floral fragrances poll that I did on my channel, and you wanted the variety. So we're going to start with this and then the fruity floral. Let me start off with a fragrance that I think is kind of forgotten. It is forgotten. I haven't heard anyone really talk about this one, not here on YouTube, at least the channels that I watch, and I really haven't seen it on social media at all, and it's been out for a while, and this is TUBEROZA from Nishane. So the fragrance is maybe the heaviest that I'm going to mention today in terms of the texture, the feel of it. It's very mature, ultra femme, beautiful, classy tuberose. Fantastic for special occasions, for evenings in the spring. All of the fragrances that I'm going to mention are appropriate for spring and summer. So I would consider this a great date night fragrance, a wedding fragrance, like if you're a guest and you want it to stand out. This one has the beautiful trifecta of tuberose, gardenia, and jasmine all in one. I tend to enjoy fragrances that have that trio in them. Honor Woman is another one that has that. And then I forget, it's like an Honor, I forget the number of it. I have Honor 43 or 46 or whatever the number is. That one also, they're both really gorgeous fragrances. Those are from Amouage. I find this fragrance to be warm and sensual as well. It's got enormous projection. It will fill up a room and it will last forever. This is one of those that you can put on in the morning, and when you get ready to shower or whatever you do at night, this is still going to be hanging on to your skin. As I'm sniffing it from the nozzle, it's kind of giving me vibes of Michael from Michael Kors, the original. And that's a beautiful tuberose, and it has some other florals in it. That fragrance as well, Michael, is gorgeous. I've talked about it in other white floral videos, so I didn't put it in this one. But anyway, if you enjoy a very long-lasting, strong fragrance that is like the height of femininity, like the pinnacle, the zenith of smelling beautiful, mature, and feminine, Tuberoza is one to beat. And because it's been out for a while, you can grab this on gray market or discount sites for relatively inexpensive. I've seen this 1.7-ounce bottle in the $100 to $150 range, and worth every penny at that point. Fantastic. Maybe I should have started with this next fragrance because it's more of like a daytime, easygoing tuberose than tuberosa. I mean, you can wear this all day as well, but it's a pretty projecting, strong fragrance, tuberosa. So if that's the nighttime version, check out this daytime version from a brand that I'm getting to know. It's a hidden gem of a brand, and they've got some hidden gems in their lineup as well. The brand is Botanicae, and this one is called PATIO. So I've purchased a few of these on the So Avant-Garde site. That's the only place that I know that has them. I mean, in fairness, I haven't looked anywhere else. So let me say that a different way. I've only to date seen them on the So Avant-Garde site. I'm sure they are sold elsewhere as well. This is a beautiful, easy, happy-going tuberose. It's sort of light and wispy in the air. It has a little bit of jasmine to cut maybe like the thickness of the tuberose itself, and it has sort of a woody base to it. This one also has honeysuckle as a note. If you're familiar with honeysuckle and you smelled it fresh when it blooms, it's got this sort of sweet, almost like the thinnest honey floral sweetness to it. And so there's a tiny bit of that here. The base notes are orris, which is a thicker, powderier note. I don't feel like I get a lot of powder in here, but I can understand how it lends some texture to this. And then sandalwood is the wood note, not pickly at all. It smells overall a little bit woody. This is fabulous, and you have to be a tuberose lover. It is tuberose dominant, just like the other one that I mentioned. The next one I'm going to mention, though, however, is for those of you that aren't sure if you love tuberose itself in its purest form and you need some gourmand touches around it to soften it up. This one is from Amouage. It's not Honor, which I wanted to put in the video, but I mentioned last year. So we're going to focus on Love Tuberose this year. I do want to share that it appears that Amouage is moving away from this packaging that has the shinier bottle exterior and with the silver caps, and they're moving more to that matte finish that Love Tuberose has. If you're familiar with Amouage fragrances, I don't have it in here, but I think it looks like this bottle. I'm going to mention this bottle next. It's different. I have it turned around so I don't ruin the surprise of the fragrance. But like a matte texture with a white cap on it. So I only bring that up to say that some people prefer this shinier, older packaging. So keep that in mind if you purchase a new one, or if you purchase on discount sites, you may get the new version versus this older packaging. So anyway, this one is beloved in the fragrance community because it is a very easy tuberose to love. This is also a floral combo. Tuberose is the dominant floral. It also has gardenia and jasmine. And it's got this sort of whipped and creamy at the same time, airy, fluffy, very cozy, comforting type of note with vanilla and a woody base. But the combination of the creaminess, the fluffy aspect of this with the beautiful florals just make this soft and feminine, and it adds a touch of demureness. Is demureness a word? I gotta look that up. Yes, it is a word. The quality of being quiet and well behaved. It's also just sort of soft. It's a very soft, easy wearing tuberose with some gourmand touches to it from the vanilla and that sort of creaminess. And I think it just makes it quite lovely. And I would also say this one would be, I would think, more appealing to a younger, I mean, anyone can wear this, of course, but those aspects of it make it more appealing, I think, to a younger crowd versus the traditional sort of powerhouse tuberose fragrance that something like Tuberosa is. So this is the crowd pleasing, mass appealing, easy pick fragrance for a floral. Love tuberose. Fantastic. So I previewed the next fragrance when I was talking about the Amouage bottles. This is Secret Gardenia from Miller Harris. I purchased this in one of the So Avant-Garde sales. It's actually sold out there now, so I'll find some other place where it's sold and link it below. Everything will be linked below if you're interested in shopping through those links. This was an immediate love. It was a blind buy, and when I brought it home, when it arrived on the porch, took it into the kitchen, immediately sprayed it, and was like, wow, this is really pretty. One of those fragrances that you like just immediately connect with. You know, the person that you meet that you know you're going to be friends right away the second that you start talking to each other, like you vibe and you're like, these are my people. This is my kind of floral. Actually, all of these are my kinds of floral. So this one is sort of a fresher gardenia, and it's brightened up by a little bit of citrus, a jasmine, and some other floral notes that kind of help the gardenia part not be so heavy and overbearing. And there is a woody base. Overall, the effect that the notes give you is a fresh, clean smelling gardenia with maybe some slight clean touches to it. I wouldn't necessarily call it soapy, but kind of something leaning in the clean, fresh direction. And it's uplifting, it's vibrant, it's a happy fragrance. When I wore it, I don't feel like it lasted forever. I mean, you'll get, 4-ish hours out of this fragrance, so you'll need to reapply it, but it's a very happy, fresh, spring uplifting fragrance. Yeah, it just smells super clean. Like if you've ever tried Pure Poison by Dior, imagine making that fragrance a little bit lighter because Pure Poison has a lot of sort of creaminess to it. This one is a little bit like thinner in texture and fresher, whereas that one has some density, beautiful floral fragrance as well. Secret Gardenia, check this out. This is a pleasant surprise for me. A gardenia that does last a long time and was pretty pricey when it first came out. I mean, it was just, my gosh, these bottles were outrageously priced, but it can now be found at discount sites, probably in anywhere from like the high 100 to the mid 200s, depending on the demand for it. And this is from Bond number 9. It is called New York Gardenia. This one also has the trifecta of jasmine, tuberose, and gardenia, with the gardenia pushing forward the most in terms of that creamy texture. And what I love about this is that it has a vanilla base, which I think makes it mass appealing as well and easily wearable, even by people who may not be into white florals. You might want to check this one out. Actually, no, I take that back because it is very heavily white floral, and some people will find this to smell too much like a bouquet of flowers or a little bit indolic, which means it has a little bit of that decaying flower smell. So I take it back. If you're not a white floral lover, you may not like this. I would say stick to Love Tuberose, maybe try Secret Gardenia and see if those work out for you, or a couple of the other ones I'm going to mention here. This one is for the true white floral lovers. It has a very sort of dense nature to it. It's thick, it's creamy, it's gloriously floral. I mean, it does smell like a bouquet of flowers with a lot of department store perfume thrown in, the vanilla base. And I know that there aren't any woody notes called out in this, but I feel like it has something woody in the base. And it's glorious. Super duper feminine, very long lasting, very projecting, crowd pleasing as well. Then maybe one of the more sensual gardenia fragrances that I have, and in my opinion, it's maybe one of the truest representations of the gardenia flower. And I don't have a full bottle, but it's sort of on my radar. I don't know why I haven't purchased it yet. Maybe because I have a lot of floral fragrances, more than I will get through in 9 lifetimes, okay? This is from Isabey. It's called Gardenia. Gardenia. This is one of the sultriest, deepest, like most exotic smelling gardenias. And I have a feeling it's because of some of the accompanying notes, but it's a very pure representation of gardenia. Almost like if you think about smelling freshly bloomed, actually not freshly bloomed, gardenias that are maybe a few days old, where they are the most fragrant because they have that really dense, creamy nature to it. And imagine that you're smelling also somebody's tropical, like yellow floral tropical, not tropical as in like fruity tropical, but yellow floral tropical fragrance off in the distance. So some of the notes here include essence of ylang-ylang, orange blossom, also has jasmine, musk, sandalwood. When I smell this, I imagine someone dressed up in a beautiful evening dress, ready to go out to dinner, high heels, hair done up, makeup perfect, a red lip, and she wants to be alluring and sexy for the evening and stand out from the crowd and have people sniffing on her because her fragrance smells fantastic. This is one to consider. And it's not outrageously priced. I think you can get a full bottle of this for 150 or so. And this is a line to check out in general. This next bottle, you can get the full 3.4 ounce bottle for under $80, which is like nearly unheard of in today's perfume market. It's described as a creamy floral on the Victoria's Secret website. This is Bare Magnolia. I just love these bottles. I have 3 of these from the line, the regular Bare, this Magnolia, and the Rose. I don't know if there are any more. I haven't looked, but I enjoy the ones that I have. Beautiful bottle. What I think people will really appreciate about this is it has this sensual vanilla base to it with the magnolia sitting on top. And the website also calls out orange flower. I mean, I suppose if you sniff hard enough and think about it, you can differentiate different notes, but it just smells like a beautiful magnolia flower. If you have magnolia trees nearby, you understand what that smells like. If you have magnolia trees near you, if you've ever smelled a fresh magnolia blossom, this captures it quite nicely. Floral, white florals, general white floral smell, has a little bit of a creamy texture to it, and there's something sort of bright as well as a hint of woodiness in the magnolia flower. And I don't capture, this fragrance captures that. And the vanilla's beautiful. It's a simple, beautiful white floral. Very easygoing to wear, has a creaminess to it. I think it's hard to go wrong with a fragrance like this. Very pretty. Day to day, easy breezy, pretty white floral with a vanilla base, uncomplicated, and I like it for that. This next one is super pricey. I do find it beautiful. I will say try to get it on discount if you can, but if you have it like that, check it out, okay? This is from the House of Beau. It's called Ave Maria, which is their latest release this spring. It's got this cap on it that I think it's made of some kind of agate. I don't remember, sorry, but it's got a little bit of green and blue that's not picking up on the camera. It's much more interesting in person, and the cap kind of gives you a sense of what this fragrance smells like. So the muse for this fragrance is Kathleen Light. She has her own makeup, skincare, hair care channel, adorable, and she's beautiful in the advertisement for this. This is one of the happiest, most fresh, intoxicating, like a siren of a fragrance. If you think about a siren calling to you from sea, like a mermaid siren or whatever it is in mythology or, old literature, this fragrance is like that. The notes here are interesting. Dewy gardenia. I don't know, so beautiful. The gardenia here is similar to the gardenia in Secret Gardenia, except this one goes a little bit more fresh, clean, maybe even a little soapy vibe, right? This one, although fresh, it doesn't give me soapy or clean vibes. There's a cashmere note, jasmine, raindrops falling on my window, sweet pear. Now, if you continue looking at the notes, it also says that this has Merlot wine and Napa leather. I have a lot of leather fragrances. I love leather fragrances. I don't really consider this a leather fragrance, and I don't pick up anything in the neighborhood of Merlot wine. I've smelled a lot of Merlot wine in my life. I don't smell any of that in here. And I don't know if it's just that I don't pick it up. If other people pick it up, let me know. It's just beautiful. Beautiful white floral, sweet tones. It's dewy and has a sense of creaminess at the same time, but it's light, it's bright, This is one of those fragrances that you spray on and the scent just sort of transports you. It takes you away. Let me be clear. When you first spray this on, it gives you a little bit of Febreze. I mentioned that before, and I just want to be clear because it is a massively expensive fragrance, and I don't want anybody to be disillusioned when they first spray it. But let that calm down. Give that about 30 seconds or so, and you will be left with this gorgeous, for me, a unique floral that I think is absolutely divine for spring and summer. It smells like the pictures look. It's ethereal, light, fresh, yet substantive. It's got some sweetness and creaminess, like I mentioned, a hint of citrus, a ton of white floral, and like that sweetness from pear. You know, the beauty of a pear note is that it adds a very sort of delicate, fresh sweetness versus a deeper berry type of sweetness that comes from maybe some other fruity notes. This is fantastic. Pricey. Do try this if you can before purchasing. It's hard because I don't think these are sold like out on counters in many or any stores. If you are a department store shopper, like your Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's or whatever, let us know if you have seen these out to test. Otherwise, you have to purchase a decant from somewhere. The website itself sells little travel sprays, but those are pricey too. So, anyway, gorgeous fragrance. Wait for a sale. We'll go now to two fragrances that, in my opinion, are jasmine dominant. This first one kind of defies description, so I'm actually going to read you the description. It is J'adore l'Or, the 2023 version. There's a 2017 version as well. This one is created by Francis Kirkjean. Description. This luminous solar floral perfume masterfully balances honeyed centifolia rose with rich jasmine grandiflorum absolutes. It says it's reminiscent of liquid gold. This voluptuous bouquet envelops the skin with a warm, long-lasting sensual trail. I do understand why it's called like a solar floral. I get that reference. And there's both a warmness and a coolness to this fragrance. Does anyone else pick that up with this one? If I didn't know what the notes were, I would tell you this had some purple florals in it, something in the iris or violet direction that kind of cooled the fragrance down. So it's both like warm and like aloof, but a beautiful fragrance with a lovely scent trail. This one has, to use the word in the description, this like luminosity to it. It's almost like the texture of champagne without the fizziness. And like there's a light shining through this fragrance that comes off of your skin. This is one of those fragrances that has beautiful sillage and projection and is loved by others in the room. I'm not the biggest fan of these bottles. I think they're a little bit goofy looking. Other people love them. But anyway, the fragrance itself is magnificent. One of the top floral fragrance recommendations of this bunch, probably because it has a little bit of unique touch to it that none of the other fragrances do. I mean, so does Ave Maria. This is to me a unique offering on the market. All of the others here, maybe if you love fragrances and you have a lot of fragrances or you've tried a lot, there are aspects of those that will smell familiar to you. This one and Ave Maria are fairly unique. I'm going to end with a fragrance that I think features jasmine, but in an unusual way because of the accompanying notes. And this is FLAM from Memo. So, gosh, this is just such a pretty fragrance. It's got some aromatic, like herbaceous notes in it that you would not pick up to be that, but they add something like a different kind of flair to this. The heart of this is a beautiful, soft jasmine, but it's, as I mentioned, accompanied by something herbal to add a unique flair. There's a warm sort of citrus touch to this, something in the neighborhood of like orange blossom mixed with a citrus note. And then there's this sort of warm, musky, almost nutty base to this, like a perfumey almond base or something. It is delightful, it's feminine, it's warm on the skin, inviting, very, very pretty fragrance. It's spectacular. It's like the best of jasmine with warm notes. It's sensual. Like we talk about hug in a bottle fragrances with warm gourmands. This is a warm floral that feels like a floral hug. It's comforting as well. I don't know how to describe this fragrance other than that. This one I think you should be able to get some samples of somewhere. I also think if you're a floral lover and the idea of a warm floral that's cozy, not imposing. This isn't a huge projector. I don't know that it even lasts all day. I think I remember getting something like 4-ish hours out of this. It's a little bit closer of a scent bubble, but it's a pretty girl warm floral hug in a bottle. Just fantastic. So check this out. All right, friends, those are my picks for this year's white floral fragrances featuring jasmine, magnolia, tuberose, gardenia. Let us know down in the comments any other fragrances that you would suggest for people to check out. And I will link those other videos down below, especially last year's video that had some stunning white florals that I didn't want to repeat in this video. The fruity floral video will be among the videos coming up here as we head further and deeper into spring. I hope you will join me for that and all the rest. Y'all smell good out there. Take care.